Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon to everyone, especially to JPN officers, PPD officers, and all great teachers. And it has been a pleasure for me to be here as a part of the team. And actually, I'm not the one who's teaching SPM. Straightforward, I'm replacing Sir Zakaria. So everything credit to Sir Zakaria because he is the one who teaching SPM. So I'm replacing Sir Zakaria because he now having another commitment as jurulatih nasyid daerah. As an English teacher, so being a jurulatih daerah. Okay, so my name is Haziq bin Abdul Halim, currently serving as a guru kanan bahasa at Sekolah Menengah Agama Maahad Tahfiz Abidin. Maahad Tahfiz Abidin is a sekolah SABK, Sekolah Agama Bantuan Kerajaan. So when it comes to Sekolah Menengah Agama, everyone calls me Ustad. So Ustad, and then until now, my students call me Ustad Sir. Okay? So a little bit about my school is actually Sekolah Agama Bantuan Kerajaan, started since 2007. And then last year, we had 42 candidates registered as SPM candidates. And only 41 managed to sit for the exam. The reason why, because the only one of our students where we targeted to get A+, couldn't manage to sit for the exam. The reason is because of a health issue. He had a sleeping disorder, and then diagnosed with the doctor and advised with the doctor. And then surprisingly, he had schizophrenia. And then because of the advice by the doctor, so doctor said that better to postpone for the exam because it will affect his health. So only 41 candidates last year. So a little bit about my school, we had around more or less 300 students since Form 1 until Form 6 at Pendang. So 100% Malay, and the ability will be mixed ability from the lower to some of them above average. And then I would say English would be their third language. Some students, English would be their third language because the first one would be Bahasa Melayu, obviously. The second one for some of them would be Bahasa Arab. And then the third one would be Bahasa Inggeris. So for some students, Bahasa Inggeris would be their third language. So I would say this is the challenge for all teachers. Okay. So I would say for new program that we did to our students, as I mentioned, we as a team, we work hand in hand because Sir Zakaria is the only one who is teaching Form 4 and Form 5. I'm teaching Form 1, 2, 3, and 6. So we are the only English teachers in the school. So we are working hand in hand. So what we did to our students, there's no new program, I would say. There's just the same program that we did, except with new catchy words, catchy names given. For example, ICU after class or extra classes. Actually, it's extra classes. And then the main thing that I would say advantage to the students would say, Sir Zakaria is a warden. So he's staying 24 hours in school. So the students can see him anytime, even after classes. And then even some of them meet Sir Zakaria until 12 o'clock at midnight. So that's a big advantage for the students, having the teachers is staying with them at school. Plus, previous presenter mentioned that Pendang district, last year we were very active. As a small family, we have 13 schools plus ASP 14 schools in Pendang. We were very active as a small family. So we did a lot of program. And to be honest, if we are the one in Pendang, in Mata, for example, my school called Mata. If Mata is the one who handle everything by our own, we couldn't manage to do it. So by the help by teachers, we have camp, 2 days, 1 night camp, and also we have a speaking, writing, and also we have a classroom where the teachers spend their time for about half an hour every Thursday from 6:30 until 7 or 6 until 6:30. Through or via Google Classroom or Meet or Zoom. So those students can access to that. But I would say since 41 of us candidate, they are staying at hostel, so we couldn't attend the classroom because we lack of facilities to access to the classroom. Okay, so what we did, this is very important, data analysis. So since TOV, we did a data analysis, we tried to find out based on CFR level. We found out that the students are very weak in two productive skills. The first one would be speaking and listening. And I bet that all teachers are having the same problem, speaking and listening. So, and after scrutinize everything, we find out that the students are lacking of vocabulary. So because of lack of vocabulary, they couldn't speak, they couldn't write. So what we did is a very simple thing. Every time in our class, starting from Form 1 until Form 5, we spent like 5 or 10 minutes. We wrote on the whiteboard. Even we practice until now, we write something on the board, maybe or 2 or 3 words related to the topic that we want to teach on that day. So from that word, the students have to crack the words. Mean to say they have to form new words based on the words given. Get what I mean? For example, Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education. So from that word, Ministry of Education, they have to use the letters inside that words to form a new words. Okay, so it's a 5 or 10 minutes. And surprisingly, I practiced with my Form 1 and Form 2 students. Within 10 minutes, they managed to come up with 20 to 30 words. 30 words. Even though we think that this action is a small action, but then somehow it helped the students. First, it helped the students by spell correctly. The second one would be pronunciation. And the third one would be try to encourage them to be the active speaker. So mean to say they have to think within a certain period of time, they have to come up with the new words. And surprisingly, after we practiced this quite a long time. So mean to say that Form 5 last year will be the first batch after we planned this 3 years ago. So we managed to see that from the TOV level, speaking and listening, most of them in A1 and A2. And surprisingly, for speaking in SPM, most of them in B2 and C1. B2 and C1. And also for writing, most of them in B1, which is 65% in B1 level. So compared to TOV, most of them in A1 and even some of them in pre-A1. And then for speaking, as I mentioned earlier, that this is productive skill. They have to speak. So we force them to speak in order to get marks. So how we force? We provide them with a template, especially for the group discussion, the pair discussion. So we have to provide them with a template where they have to fit based on the question. So hi Aiman, hi Eileen, Ali. Today we are talking about, and then they have to fit based on the question. That's for speaking. And then for writing, actually we are focusing more in part 1, writing email. Some of you think that email is easy. Yes, email is easy. That's why we focus more on email to make sure that all students manage to master the email part, because it's 20 marks compared to part 2, part 3. Part 2, part 3 is 20 marks also. But since email is the easiest one, so we try to make sure that students try to master, try to manage to write the email within a short period of time so that they can produce, they can have more time in part 2 and part 3. And the second thing, why email? Because it's very easy for us to mark. I mean to say we can mark within 5 minutes. We just call students, okay, you write something within 10 minutes, and then straightforward, we can mark within 5 minutes, give feedback. Okay. And then we believe that maybe in the long run, we still continue this small thing, which is crack the word. Even though we think that this is a small action, but somehow the small action gives the big impact to the students. So the most important part is you have to be consistent in doing something, even the small thing. So as a result, what we got last year, the GPs 2020, GPMPs 2023, we got 5 4.67 to 4.83. The increment by 0.84. And then I would say this is the best one because 100% of our candidate passed the exam. We never got this 100% pass. Since 2007, I still remember 2007 we got Kepala 9 2007, and then gradually 8, 9, 7, 6, 6, 6, and then stagnant to 6, 5, and luckily last year we got 4.83. And then the highest would be, before this, the last time we got A, we never got A+. The highest we got A solid would be 2016. But last year we got 5 candidates got A solid. A solid, 1 A minus. And then overall, I would say this is the best. Last year will be the best result for SPM for English. And then hoping that we continue to serve and to get the best result. And remember, as a conclusion, it doesn't matter either you make something big or small. The most important part is you have to be consistent in doing something. Even a small thing, it will give a big impact to all students, inshallah. So I think that's all. Hoping there's no question.